12 news.
All right, Chris, thanks. Nearly a dozen horses seized from a farm in Buckeye, a lot of them underweight, some hundreds of pounds underweight, including a Clydesdale. The animals were taken after the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office was sent a letter about the condition of these animals. When deputies arrived at the home, they found 11 horses and 13 dogs. Look at these horses. You can see their ribs. William Pitts is live in Buckeye, where those horses finally are getting some special care. Will?
Yeah, Mark, this is one of the Clydesdales behind me. You can see he's pretty skinny as it is. The ones next to him, though, take a look at the one on the very end, the white one down there. You can see the ribs poking through and just how thin he is. But believe it or not, these horses already seem a little better than they were when they were brought in here. They're eating and they're walking around a little bit more. Veterinarians here at Durango Equine are watching them closely and trying to get their weight back up.
They range from underweight to emaciated.
The Clydesdales look nothing like powerful draft horses.
She's got a lot of hair. It makes it a little bit harder, but when I put my hands on her, I can put my fingers in between all of her ribs.
Then there's this little pony with serious foot problems.
The little mini horse, its feet are twisted. It walks on the side of its feet.
And a yearling who had never left its pen in its life.
That was a lot to ask for it to be able to move into a new environment, get on a trailer.
These 9 horses were taken from a 59-year-old woman's home early Wednesday morning. Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies say they're neglected, starved. They say the woman was in over her head. They're charging her with animal cruelty. But the sheriff's office left 13 dogs at the house. Deputies say they all have medical problems and will stay, along with 2 more horses. But MCSO says they'll be checking up on the woman and could still take them away. Meanwhile, the 9 horses have a lot of rehab to do.
For almost all of them, the weight is going to be our most immediate concern in getting them back healthy.
Now, these guys are being fed every couple hours. These horses could be up for adoption eventually. That depends on how the case against the owner turns out. In the meantime, they're going to be boarded at the sheriff's MASH unit just as soon as they get healthy enough to travel from here in Buckeye. Live in Buckeye, William Pitts, 12 News.
All right, Will, thanks. Joining us tonight is Stephanie Nichols-Young, an attorney with the Animal Defense League of Arizona. The group is trying to stop House Bill 2587. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a bad bill as far as we're concerned. It would be bad policy for our state. Arizona has one of the best cruelty laws in the country. It hasn't been significantly changed since the 90s, and it's doing a good job for our state. It's allowing prosecutors to prosecute cases. It provides protection for the ag industry, and we don't understand why this bill is even.
So what would 2587 do?
Well, it does a lot of things. It would prevent local communities from creating stricter ordinances for livestock and poultry and possibly horses. It would also essentially peel off our broad animal cruelty law and take half of the animals and put them in the ag code. The law that's been drafted, the proposal is poorly drafted. It doesn't plug in well with the existing criminal code. It's got archaic language. This thing just has tons of problems.
And why is it changing, do you think?
I mean, I think ag lobbyists are trying to run it. I don't know why they don't want to be part of the animal cruelty law that exists, that's worked for years. I really wouldn't want to speculate.
Okay, you were saying there's a difference between abuse, which we talk about a lot, and neglect, and oftentimes it's that pretty gray area. I don't necessarily think these people meant to abuse these horses, but obviously they're neglected.
Right, and our existing animal cruelty law is great because it has different definitions. It has cruel mistreatment, it has different degrees, so that it covers everything from the violent act of someone, physically beating or somehow really abusing an animal, much like they would with violence towards a human, all the way down to those extreme neglect cases.
So not feeding it, not giving it water, the care it needs.
Exactly, and it has very tight definitions and a very tight protocol for what degree of violation it'll be, whether it'll be a misdemeanor or a felony. This new law is poorly drafted. It lumps everything together with this archaic language, and it doesn't allow a felony. If someone did the most violent, horrendous act you can think of, it would not, on that first offense, be a felony.
All right.
And that's one of the things that really troubles all of us.
Well, good luck with your fight. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, Governor Jan Brewer announced today she will not be running